Okay, everyone, I wanted to give you 9 questions to ask an estate agent when they are coming out to give you a valuation on your property. Number 1, always ask after the estate agent has given you a price, is that your marketing suggestion or is that going to be an achievable price? This is so important in estate agency. We know the industry is renowned for overvaluing to try and win the business. So a key question is, do you think you can sell that for that price? Or is it a marketing suggestion? Are you trying to win my business? Or is that achievable? Get the agent to commit it. Even get it written on the contract. What do you think you're going to get for my home? Not what are you going to market my home at? That is question number 1. After you've agreed a price, you need to know what their marketing plan is. Are they just there with the gift of the gab and the flash suit? Or do they have a strategy? Do they have a campaign strategy for your particular property? What are the 3 USPs that they're going to really push on your home? What is the write-up going to look like? Are you going to have an involvement in how the marketing text looks? Are you going to have your say? Is there a video? Is there social media? Is there Instagram, Facebook group, hashtags involved? Is there a paid campaign? Is it Rightmove and Zoopla, or just one or the other, or neither? Is there some sort of build-up coming soon process, or are they just going to drop it on the portals and wait for the phones to ring? How are they going to use their database? Is AI built into their database, or are they going to have to manually send it to everyone? You need to know the answers to that. It's really important that you feel confident that there is some sort of strategy in place other than just signing the contract, slapping it on Rightmove and waiting for the phone calls to come in. That's number 2. I always think it's important after you've built a relationship with that particular estate agent, you feel comfortable in the brand, that you know who's actually going to come around and show strangers around your home. Let's just remind ourselves, the definition of an estate agent is a stranger that comes to your house when you're not at home with your key to show another stranger around. As awkward as that sounds, that is the facts of reality. So you want to make sure that the estate agent that's coming over to your property is someone that you trust, that you know, they know your home, they've got experience in the local area, in the industry, they know the 3 USPs that you've agreed with that particular agent, or ideally, they are that agent that you built the rapport with from day one. That would be the best case scenario. You don't want juniors coming around that are going to hesitate when the opportunity is there to potentially introduce that buyer to an offer. And you also don't want weekenders that are just coming around because they just want to look through strangers' homes on the weekends and not necessarily do the job of the estate agent that you're paying thousands for. That's number 3. Number 4, on that point, you want to know how many points of contact are there going to be. With estate agents, we are an industry that's renowned for departments and being passed from person to person to person. And why? Because there is so many different parts to the transaction. You've got the initial valuation, you've got the initial call even before that. You've then got viewings, you've then got the marketing part of it, you've then got the offer negotiation, you've then got the after sales process. That's kind of 5 or 6 different trigger points that you could be passed to a different person. So you want to know who you're going to be dealing with. Who's your main point of contact? How many times are you going to have to repeat the same story to a different person? Or is there just one point of contact from start to finish? That's how we do things at Avocado, but don't take my word for it. Most of the traditional models will have call centres, various departments, and you will be passed from pillar to post. If you're happy with that, no problem at all. But if you want to build a relationship with someone and have a single point of contact, then that's where something like Avocado comes in when you deal with a business owner from beginning to end, which sounds great. Number 5, make that estate agent work on the valuation and ask them a direct question. What do you think is the number 1 reason my property won't sell? Because you don't just want to sat there and be sold to. Yes, I'm sure your home is looking immaculate for the valuation, but really you want to know, why might it not sell? Because if you can get that feedback from the agent that's got the experience and probably got a gut feeling on exactly what that reason may be, you want to know from day one, what is the reason? And the agent that says there isn't really one is actually feeding you a load of nonsense. You want to know, what's the number 1 reason my property isn't going to sell outside a price strategy? Find that out from day one, and then maybe it's something you can do something about before the viewings come round, or maybe it's something that you can have a conversation around to how you can overcome that objection from day one as well. Or maybe it's something that needs to be fit in to the pricing strategy at that initial valuation appointment. And as you continue with point 6, make the agent work. Ask them the direct questions. What's the plan if the property isn't selling? Outside of your strategy that you've just told me, the campaign, different trigger points that you're going to put in place, what happens if it's not selling? What do we do next? What's the B, C and D plan? Really important that you ask that agent that, because if they start to squirm and feel awkward and get a bit sweaty and a bit red-faced, there probably isn't one. So you need to be with an agent that feels totally confident. And look, if it isn't selling and you need B plan, this is the B plan. This is the C plan. This is the D plan. Direct, honest feedback from the initial appointment, really important. That's number 6. Number 7, you kind of want to know, who is the buyer? What does the buyer look like? Who is the ideal buyer for this property? Because that's how you can, again, connect with the agent's understanding and knowledge of the type of person that's most likely to buy your property. And it may surprise you, because it may be that your type of property is on trend with a different type of demographic or type of buyer to when you initially purchased it. Or it may be it's a mirror image of exactly who you were 5 years ago when you bought that home. But it's really important that the estate agent thinks about that, because when you do build out that write-up, the marketing channels, the video layout, the photography, what photo goes first, second, third, fourth and sixth, they're really the kind of things that are going to dictate the type of buyer that's going to see your property. So who's the target buyer and how does that interlink with the marketing strategy? Very, very important question. You put the estate agent on the spot and ask him. Then compliance. What do I need to have in place before my property goes on the market? What documents do I need to have in place? What's my checklist look like for you, Mr. or Mrs. Estate Agent? What can't we be without to go to the market? And what would you advise that I get done prior going to the market? Get the checklist off the agent, and that's going to help you make sure there's no time delays. And if you find your dream home tomorrow, bang, you're ready to go. And the last point, who's going to be your power team? Who do you need to get quotes from before your property is ready to go to the market? Solicitors, mortgage advisors, removal companies, EPCs, surveyors, all of these types of things. What does my checklist look like for my power team? Who should I go and get quotes from? There's nothing worse than when I go to negotiate an offer, we get something agreed, I speak to a vendor or a buyer, and they haven't even started the process of trying to find a solicitor at that point. It's just a huge delay that we don't need. And because things are taking so long on the transactions at the moment, all of these things could be done way earlier on in the transaction. So what's your power team going to look like? And Mr. or Mrs. Estate Agent, who do I need to go and get quotes from before my property sells? Really, really important. And point 10, avocado property. If you need a valuation, all of our estate agents are business owners. You will deal with them from start to finish. So if you would like an experienced person to come out and give you a proper, honest valuation on your home, help you with that move to that next dream home, we help loads of families. We specialize in upsizing. And if you do want to have a valuation with one of the agents, then you can use one of the links in this video below, and we'll be more than happy to pop out and see you and give you an honest valuation on your home. Thanks for watching the video.